Hello, beautiful people. This is Freedom Fighter. Thank you for tuning into our channel, Goldilocks Global Banking News. Everybody knows that Goldilocks is the #1 source for the RVGCR. People from around the world tune in to see what Goldilocks is sharing on the RVGCR. Don't miss your chance and get your latest updates every day. So like, share, and subscribe to this channel to get your daily podcast from the Goldilocks articles on the RVGCR. Brought to you by Freedom Fighter. Hello, beautiful people. This is Freedom Fighter, and welcome to Goldilocks Global Banking News. I'm your host. Folks, today Goldilocks is sharing how Iraq is strategically and continuously ditching the U.S. dollar. What that means for Iraq, what that means for any country like Vietnam or others that continually ditch the U.S. dollar in trade to utilize their own currency, their own currencies become stronger. So where you have Iraq now, officially continually doing so with implementations of removing the U.S. dollar, it's only an indication of their plans to revalue the Iraqi dinar. Then Goldilocks shares from the Commodities Future Trade Commission and what they are doing. Remember, the Commodities Future Trade Commission, the CFTC, is a global institution that is responsible for the commodities that will back our currencies in the new banking system. Let's jump right into what Goldilocks is sharing today. The announcement of the Central Bank of Iraq and their remittances of auction number 8344, or should I say B344, with a 14-day term set for February the 15th of 2026. This is a monetary policy reform, folks, aimed to stabilize the Iraqi dinar. Iraq has periodically done this over the last year and a half to 2 years, and they continue to do so. Think of it as step-by-step measures that they're making towards strengthening the Iraqi dinar. And by them doing this, they are simultaneously, ladies and gentlemen, ending their dollar transactions. Now, I must tell you, although in trade, Iraq is no longer using the U.S. dollar as they did before. Just very minimal. But within Iraq's borders and their markets, they're still using the U.S. dollar very heavily. And they're continuously implementing reforms to remove the dollar off of the streets and to remove the dinar from underneath the mattresses and into the banking system. Because this is where the digital transformation of the dinar comes into play for Iraq, which is a prerequisite before they revalue the dinar. See, Goldilocks is sharing and showing that this type of auction allows traditional banks to participate by bidding on remittances often tied to foreign currency. By offering banks a short-term investment vehicle in the Central Bank of Iraq's instruments, it reduces the amount of dinar circulating freely in Iraq, which helps to control inflation. It curbs pressure on the dinar exchange rate and prevents excessive demand for the U.S. dollar in their illegal markets in Iraq. Are you beginning to see the dynamics of lessening their dependence on the US dollar within Iraq to become more dependent on the dinar, which is aimed at strengthening the dinar? And these are reforms, folks, that are required by the IMF, the US Treasury, and the World Trade Organization for Iraq. See, in Iraq, their economy, oil revenues dominate the revenue source. Overall, while not a direct revaluation event connected to these auctions, the auctions play a role, a supportive role, in maintaining the dinar's confidence and the exchange rate predictability. This is also connected to, ladies and gentlemen, the reason why the Central Bank of Iraq announced that they will stabilize the dinar by not changing the rate. This is all a part of stabilizing the dinar. It's a collaborative effort, a strategic plan leading up to the inevitable revaluation of the Iraqi dinar. So now we transition into what Goldilocks is sharing next, which is the overall picture of the global currency reset. Commodities that will back the dinar, the dong, whatever currencies we hold, and the Commodities Future Trade Commission. They're updating their guidelines on digital assets used as collateral for transactions. On February the 6th, the Commodities Future Trade Commission, they revised a previous reform, and now it's significant because the revision includes the definition of payment stablecoins. What will be in the new digital banking system to stabilize our currency rates? Stablecoins. See, this originally was issued by them on the 8th of December of last year. And the letter provides a no-action position, meaning the CFTC didn't recommend any enforcement, but they do now. This allows the payment stablecoins to gain more clarity to be utilized in the new banking system, which will back our currencies. This update clarifies that national banks can qualify as permitted issuers of these payment stablecoins. This, folks, is more interlinking and onboarding of what's needed in the new banking system in order for currencies to revalue. The Genius Act, the Clarity Act, all of these digital asset regulations that many of you, I'm sure, are paying attention to now, that is prevalent in mainstream media. This is all connected. This all, folks, Goldilocks is sharing is a step forward for institutional money to be used in a regulated manner within our banking system. It aligns with the broader developments of the digital asset regulations. And switching to stablecoin payments, it allows the digital, the electronic transformation of paper currencies in the new banking system. This is where you see Iraq is speaking even more so now, as they did before, related to digital dinar, digital payments. So the globe, the world, the international financial community is doing the same thing that Iraq is doing. Iraq is doing the same thing as the world. We're witnessing a cohesiveness between Iraq and the globe. Although it may not on the surface appear that way, but the actual report from the sources is stating and showing That's what they're doing. Iraq is not keeping any secrets. Iraq is not in the closet. They been came out the closet years ago. Iraq has publicly stated that they will revalue the Iraqi dinar. Goldilocks has shown that proof directly from the sources. Over a year or so ago, in our Telegram room, I posted the article from Iraq indicating that they will revalue the Iraqi dinar. There's been multiple sources, proof from Iraq. The reforms that they're implementing, it's all connected to the revaluation of the Iraqi dinar. So the implementation of the stablecoin payments, not only within Iraq, but directly from the International Monetary Fund, right now is showing the connection between the global banking system, currencies around the world, that also include Iraq, yes. The global economy with these stablecoins, it ends up allowing faster, cheaper foreign currency exchanges, lower transaction cost, more efficient transactions, enhanced transparency, and support for global trade and growth. The International Monetary Fund, which of course is one of the 4 global agencies that oversee the revaluation of currencies, they're reporting that, in short, shifting towards stablecoin payments modernizes the financial system, reduces barriers to money movement, and empowers more people and businesses to participate in the global economy. What have you heard just recently, yesterday, maybe the day before, from Iraq? Modernizing their banking system. This is something that Goldilocks has been reporting over the last 2 years. This is what Iraq has been telling you that they're doing. We are now beginning to see, from the last 2+ years of what they have stated that they were going to do and that they are doing, now what you're seeing is the implementation of what they've publicly stated. Nothing is of a coincidence, and again, Iraq is not in the closet, folks. Nobody is in the closet regarding the revaluation of currencies. It's all been out in the public, exposed, butt naked truth all over the place. And Goldilocks has been sharing it, and we've been bringing it to you, and we will continue to do so until that time comes when we go on to our next chapter. Be well, kind folks. We love you. Ciao.
Hello, beautiful people. This is Freedom Fighter. Thank you for tuning into our channel, Goldilocks Global Banking News. Everybody knows that Goldilocks is the #1 source for the RVGCR. People from around the world tune in to see what Goldilocks is sharing on the RVGCR. Don't miss your chance and get your latest updates every day. So like, share, and subscribe to this channel to get your daily podcast from the Goldilocks articles on the RVGCR. Brought to you by Freedom Fighter.